Sakura-chan.
Sakura's.
Sakura-chan.
I heard Hina's talking, but my eyes started steadily forward. I could only look on at Sakura's dead body. We didn't make it in time. It happened again. Muttering to herself, Kyoko began to gently inspect Sakura's body. I wondered, was she confirming that Sakura really was dead? Checking for a pulse or a reaction? I have to go get them. I have to go get the others. On shaky legs, Hina left the rec room, and Why? Why did this happen? That's all I could say. I repeated over and over again. I need to examine Sakura's body. I just stood there, motionless behind her, while she checked Sakura's corpse. Time passed. While I stood there, unable to do a thing, time just passed. And after I don't know how long. I got everyone! So, she's dead, huh? Sakura's been killed, I see. As soon as they arrived, Kyoko began. You heard the announcement just now, right? So you know what this means. Sakura was murdered, and by someone in this very room. Is that what you're trying to say? No. Whoever killed her is not just someone in this room. It was one of you! Hiro, Byakuya, Toko, one of you killed Sakura! What? You're accusing us before we've even begun the investigation? I don't need to investigate anything! Because you hated her! You hated the sight of her! One of you did it! I know it! You know it? Jeez, I didn't know your power level would increase by that much just by getting mad. What are you doing here? Isn't it obvious? I'm here to hand out my little murder flyer. That's right, it's the next Monokuma file. And don't get so mad, Misasa Hina, or you're gonna ruin the lewd little face of yours. Oh my god. He actually said the word lewd. And then with that... Hold on. There's something I want to ask you. What? It was you, wasn't it? You killed Sakura. Huh? Sakura wanted to challenge the mastermind to a duel. Maybe you and her fought again and then I killed her? Sorry, not quite. Actually, not even close. That whole thing, totally irrelevant now. Sakura came to a most regrettable end without even getting the chance to finish things with me. Phew! Which, thank God for that, it saved me the trouble of having to go through with our little fight. Cause even for someone like me, it would have been no mean feat to take down a behemoth like that. I gotta tell ya, I was actually pretty worried. I mean, she would violate a rule by attacking me in the first place, but I wasn't able to punish her. So, I don't know who it was, but whoever the blackened is this time, I owe you one. You owe them one? Oopsie, before you get all pissy-putty on me, you better figure out who did it first. Cause I mean, your lives are on the line, right? Bye. What the hell? He owes him one? I hate him. I hate this whole thing. Well, I, for one, am glad it was Sakura. She was working for the mastermind after all. How could you say that right now? Sorry, I don't have time for you squabbling. The next game has already begun. If you want to be angry at someone, be angry at whoever kills Sakura. Right now, our top priority needs to be uncovering Sakura's killer. If we cannot do that, we're all dead. Then let's decide who will stand guard this time. I'll do it. Hina? I'm okay. Just let me handle it. Besides, I want to be here with Sakura. Okay, then Hina is his guard number 1. But we need one more. Kyoko, that's you. Me? You're always a thorn in my side. This time, just stand by and watch quietly. Consider that an order. An order? Fine, I'll stay behind. Then it's settled. Let's begin, shall we? Hold on! Before that, there's something I want to say. Which is... Hiro, Byakuya, Toko, none of you are allowed to step foot in the crime scene. What? One of you killed Sakura! I won't let someone like that come anywhere near her! Don't be stupid. Our lives are in just as much danger as yours. We have every right to investigate. I don't care what you say. I'm not letting the one who killed Sakura anywhere near her. Even if it means I have to use force, you're not getting in here. Well, it appears further discussion will be a waste of time. How about a compromise? I would ask you to let all of us in. Just let me. What? You don't really care, do you? You're both useless anyway. Nope, I don't really care. I'd rather spend my time coming up with another splendid fantasy involving Master anyway. And you, Hiro, do you really object? If you're gonna go that far, what can I do? I mean, I don't have anything to hide, so why should I care? Then it's decided. Nothing is decided! I know how you feel, Hina, but you should agree to his request. But... we have to find out who killed Sakura. For those of us still alive, and to honor Sakura's memory. Fine, I guess it's okay. But no matter what, Byakuya, you absolutely aren't allowed to touch her. Naturally, who will want to touch a filthy dead body? That's enough fighting. We need to focus on the investigation from here on and out. Everyone, keep this in mind. If we can uncover Sakura's killer, all of us face execution. Finding out who killed Sakura? It's not a matter of hoping we can do it. If we want to survive, we have to do it. It's a kind of hopeless hope. We have no choice but to just do it. Investigate. I'll better check the Monokuma file before anything else. The victim was Sakura Ogami. The time of death estimated to be around 12 noon. The body was discovered in the rec room on the 3rd floor of the school. There's evidence of a strong blow to the victim's head. No other injuries were noticed. However, it seemed that at some point the victim suffered from violent vomiting of blood. Monokuma File 4 has been added to the Truth Bullet section to your handbook. I think the case this time might be a challenge. Why is that? The only way into the rec room is the door we just came through, and that door had been jammed shut with the chair from inside the rec room, which means the killer would have escaped somehow after barring the door. So if the door was blocked from the inside and there's no way out, no way in or out till we broke the window, there's like zero escape, right? In other words, this is a classic locked room murder. Locked murder? I guess you might see this kind of thing a lot in mystery movies or books or whatever, but could it really happen in real life? And right before our very eyes like this?
No.
Are you curious to hear more about what a locked room murder entails? Sure, if you don't mind. When you break down this kind of murder mystery, there are 4 basic types. The first type is when the locked room is created after the actual crime is committed. This simply means that the killer commits his crime, then through some special methods seals the room. This mainly involves some sort of a trick involving the locking of the room. Basic approaches including using a string or a simple mechanism. There are a number of variations. So for that, all we'll have to do is check the door to see if that's what it was, right? The second type is when the locked room already existed before the crime is committed. Basically, the killer uses a special contraption or tools from outside to target the victim inside. You push a switch and fires a handgun. You shoot an arrow through a gap in the door, something like that. But in this case, that doesn't seem to fit. There's no guns or arrow in the school, and the door doesn't have any gap that would allow it. Yeah, I think we can probably cross that one off the list. The third type is when the killer stays in the room until it's opened up. What do you mean by that? They stay hidden, and when the door is open, they use the confusion to blend in with the group. They pretend they showed up along with everyone else, and that's that. That sounds like it could have been possible, maybe. And the fourth and final type is when it wasn't actually a locked room at all. Not a locked room. By that I mean there's actually an alternate escape route somewhere within the room. You see this a lot in novels and things, but in reality it's generally not possible. Then you think we can cross that off too? I believe so, yes. So when it comes to locked room mysteries, those are the basics. So there are 4 possibilities. Then Kyoko, which of those 4 choices seems the most likely in this case? That's a good question. Answering that should be our primary focus during this trial. But right now, I can't really say. I see. The way the killer set up the locked room. Until I figure that out, the truth behind Sakura's death will stay hidden. It's definitely a tough mystery. I need to concentrate and investigate as much as I can. For Sakura, if nothing else. Has to be the third one, right? Like they were hidden, and then they blend into the crowd, because there's no lock in this room, and there's no secret passage out, and there's no gap to kill Sakura, so it has to be like blending in option. What do you want? You're bothering me. Go away. Fuck you, man. I seriously hate people like Byakuya. There's some kind of plastic container rolling around near the entrance to the room. That looks like a protein drink and it's empty. Sakura must drink it. Everyone knows how much she loved her protein. And she mentioned more than once how protein was good for all sorts of ailments. I wouldn't take that to heart if I were you. I know. But still, the protein can, it got a label on it that says Chem A-2. That reminds me, Sakura mentioned how the Chem lab had all kinds of health stuff. So she must have gotten it from this Chem lab. So that's strange. You see what's scattered around the can? Shards of light blue glass. That must be part of the window I broke to get inside. But they aren't just scattered around the can, they're also underneath it. What does that matter? Are you dumb, douche? It's like if you break it and then the thing was before it, the glass will be on top of it, not underneath it. I can say for sure yet, but you're probably going to want to take note of it. I feel like it will become an important clue later on. An important clue? I'm not sure I see how. I see how! The glass will not move underneath the freaking bottle when you break the glass. So, alright, glass was broken. Some kind of glass was broken, and then the protein drink was on top of that. Where could other glass come from? The locker's open, and there on the other side, it's a handprint? What's a handprint doing here? It looks like someone touched the inside of the locker and left a handprint in all the dust. And it looks quite fresh too. I would say someone was hiding here in the locker and left behind a little something extra. So then, maybe the killer hidden here until the locker room was open. Don't you think? And during all the confusion, they popped out and joined the rest of the group. Unfortunately, that's not a possibility. Huh? Why not? Think back before we opened the door. We looked inside the room, right? Oh yeah, and the locker was already open at that point. So there is no way someone could have hidden in there until after we opened the door. Yeah, so then, what does this handprint mean? Locker handprint has been added to the truth bullet section to your handbook. That's blood? No. Shards of glass scattered around the chair Sakura was sitting on. The glass is all red and these are all the top and bottom section of a bottle, right? So this must have originally been a bottle. Glass shards on the floor has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. There's something else on the ground near the glass. It's a figure. It fits in the palm of my hand. It's a Monokuma figure. It's this one, right? There are 4 red bottles lined up in the shelf. Inside each bottle, there's some kind of Monokuma figure. What I'm wondering is, how would they get those figures inside the bottle? It's no different from your stand ship in a bottle. You know, where the bottle's open and it's smaller than the boat placed inside? You've never seen that? Oh yeah, maybe I have. So this is the Monokuma version of that. A Monokuma bottle, if you will. I feel like I'm finally starting to make sense of things little by little. The Monokuma bottle sitting on the shelf. The Monokuma figure we found on the ground. The red shards of glass which probably started out as a bottle. Which would mean Sakura must have been hit in the head with the Monokuma bottle, right? The shard of glass and the Monokuma figure are evidence of that. So I think it's safe to say Monokuma bottle was the weapon. And there's blood. There's a blood stain in front of the magazine shelf. It must come from Sakura, right? But that doesn't make any sense. Why is it so far away from where she died? Magazine shelf blood stain. No! God dang it. It looks like some kind of wrapper. Ah, that's... Do you recognize it, Hina? Well, yeah, I mean, I gave it to her. It was a candy wrapper. Sakura got super upset when she found out Genocide Jack had attacked me, right? So after we left the nurse's office, I gave it to her. I thought it might help her calm down a little. So you gave that candy to Sakura. I found a big box of it in the warehouse. I really like them. Actually, as soon as we could get into the warehouse, I took the entire box back to my room. I made sure nobody else could get their hands on them. You really like that much? But I wanted Sakura to get a chance to try one for herself. That's why I gave it to her. But now, they've lost all their flavor. Hina. Polka dot candy wrapper. Can we examine Sakura's body? Sakura drew her last breath sitting slumped forward in this chair. There's obvious evidence of the blow to the head Sakura suffered. Normally I wouldn't have any problem believing that's what killed her. But according to the Monokuma file, she had also vomited blood. And I can see a trace of blood on her lip for sure. So what would have caused her to vomit blood? The Monokuma file specifically said she hadn't suffered any other injuries. Maybe her getting hit on the head somehow caused to start vomiting blood? Not a chance. But Byakuya! However, your eyes have landed on the most interesting location. Interesting? Yes, most interesting, don't you agree? No, I don't think I would call it interesting. But it does make me wonder. The reason Sakura vomited blood absolutely has to be connected to why she died. So maybe she got hit by a head, but that wasn't it that she got killed, obviously. And because here, let me line it out for you guys. If she started vomiting blood at first, the killer would have not killed her, because it would be like, oh, she's vomiting blood. That means that she's gonna be dead soon. So why would I hit her on her head? They would just leave her alone and she would die by herself. But hitting her on the with the bottle did not kill her. So they use something to make her die, and that caused her to vomit blood. And usually things that make others vomit blood is poison. And we know it's poison because we had this chemical thing right there. Like the protein shake. So maybe they made her drink this? I don't know. Would she not notice that it's like it's a fucking poison while she's fighting the person? While she's fighting the person, would she be like, yeah, let me drink this protein shake level up and blow you off with the Kamehameha. Doesn't make any sense. But for Sakura to have been killed, yeah, she's not the type who would go down without a fight. And she certainly didn't, I would say. She was the ultimate martial artist, strong in body, mind, and spirit. So, how was the killer able to get the upper hand on her? I wonder, did someone get the upper hand? They must have taken her by surprise, right? Certainly, they would have needed to if they expected to stand any chance against her. Anything, Hina? We already know who did it. Byakuya Toguro Hero. It has to be one of them. They couldn't stand the sight of her. You agree with me, don't you, Makoto? Well, I don't want to say anything for sure without finding out more. Then let me help you find out more. You see, Sakura asked all three of them to meet with her. You know where? Right here in the rec room. What? After I went to the nurse's office this morning, Sakura and I both left together, right? Well, eventually, she went off on her own. But when I saw her off after that, she told me. She said she would left a note for each of them. She asked them to meet her in the rec room by noon. By noon, the Monokuma file says she would die right around then. I'm telling you the truth. I heard it right from Sakura herself, and I tried to stop her. But she wouldn't listen. She said not to worry, that she just wanted to talk to them. And this is what happened. If I would stopped her, by force even, this would have never happened. Hina, it is impossible not to have regrets, I know. Aoi's account has been added to the truth bullet. But the fact that she had asked those three to meet with her, and she asked them to come to the rec room at noon, the same time, same place, she ended up dying. This might be good to confirm what I just heard with three of them directly. Yo, Byakuya bitch, talk to me, douchebag. What do you want? You're bothering me. There's something I would like to talk to you about. Make it quick. Is it true that Sakura asked you to meet her in the rec room? So you found out. Interesting. That is true. I did receive a note to that effect, yes. But what fool would do what it said and risk being killed by that monster? So you didn't go see her? Of course not. I ripped the note to shred and threw it away. I haven't even seen Sakura today at all. Byakuya says he didn't go see her. Is that the truth? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept its fact. If you're all finished, please remove yourself from my sight. Okay, thanks. Alright. The only noticeable change to the door is the smashed window. Which happened, of course, when I broke it to get inside. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the door. In other words, I didn't see anything suspicious about the door itself. That's the chair. The chair was shoved up against the doorknob, so we couldn't get the door open. There was no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the chair. In other words, there's no reason to think the chair had anything special done with. Having examined both the door and the chair, there's no doubt the reason the door didn't open was simply because the chair was shoved up against it. This kept the doorknob from turning and the door from opening. And there was no evidence of the door or chair being tampered with or anything like that. So the killer must have created the locked room from the inside, not from the outside. Rec room door. Well, Makoto, have you finished with your general investigation? Yeah, I think so, for the most part. Then you should probably go talk with people now. I'm on guard duty, so I can't leave. Which is why I decided you will go in my place. She's decided. She's got a lot more pushy since we had our issue. But she's right, I do have to go talk to the others. Sakura wanted to meet with 2 other people. I need to hear what they have to say. Wait, hold on. Ruka is super annoying.